What's hood, everybody? What's hood? What's hood? Hello. What's up? What's going on? So I'm not even gonna go with the preamble. We started hella late today. Unfortunately, I was busy with something else. I got a little bit lost in the sauce that side, and as a result, I completely messed up the timing of when the game was supposed to begin. But we got you. We got you in time anyway. You know, I missed the start of the draft, but we're still in it. We're still cool. Anyway, what's up, everybody? Have ourselves here Fnatic taking on the side of OB.Neon. It is going to be a young, quick BO3 between these two teams to determine who goes through in the upper bracket to face off against the winner of Boom ID and TNC. Why does the room sound so... Oh, I see why. Okay. I'll go deal with that in 1 second. Actually, wait. I think I'm late enough that nobody's out here just yet. But we'll switch it up in a second. Yeah. So, Fnatic, Neon... Looking at these drafts right now, Fnatic, they lost with this yesterday, didn't they? Or was it Neon that lost with this? Somebody lost with Bloodseeker in the offlane yesterday, where it was pretty apparent, it was MTG. It was pretty apparent that they needed more punch from that side of the map, but the Bloodseeker wasn't able to provide it all by himself. In particular, more team fights starting. In this game, you're seeing it again, right? How do they start fights here? I understand why the Bloodseeker is picked. It's very good against the Timbersaw and the Marana. You get, when the hookshot comes in from the clockwork, you just lay down the blood right, makes life a lot easier for you. Blood rage on blood, the gyrocopter with the IO as backup, and there's an absurd amount of damage, but I don't like this draft, I'll be honest, the Fnatic draft. It feels like, because they have so few stuns, their uptime is required to be virtually, like, they have no downtime possibilities. You always have to be fighting, you always have to be on the map. On the bright side though, it's not like they're losing the late game farm, even though they don't have as many disables. Neon don't have that many either. In that case, maybe it actually, I don't like this last pick, Nature's Prophet, either from Fnatic. Okay, if not for the NP, Norman, what's good, fam? What's good? Personally, I am gonna go with Fnatic now. If they'd gone for a more stable safe laner, maybe somebody that had a disable of some kind. I forget if the Faceless Void was still in the pool. If Void is in the pool, then I think you definitely pick Void for NB Neon. So I'm kind of perplexed as to why they went for the Nature's Prophet. I suppose you can still set up for things like Sunstrike with Prophet, but it's a lot easier to just eat through, just keep the hatchet. So I don't know. I think Fnatic, with what has been picked by the side of OB.Neon, they'll actually have the capability of punching back in this one and fighting at an appropriate tempo. Let's see though. Let's see. No audio. No audio. What do you mean no audio? Do you mean I don't have audio, or there's no game audio?
Fight me.
จะทางไหนนี่ไหวบ่นี่จะทางไหนนี่ไหวบ่นี่
That is very peculiar if you're not getting any audio at all. So let me know what your complications are, comrade, and we'll try to deal with them. We'll try and engage. I mean, I don't know what y'all are asking me for though. I don't know if you're saying that there's no game audio or if there's no audio on my mic. I'm not entirely certain what the consideration is. Alright, cool. Norman says he's cool. Norman can hear everything. No problem. No problem. So we are good. We are good. We can get ourselves underway. The way that this game is gonna...
You make best situation out of no situation.
Fight me.
I'm kind of thinking of, like, what are the circumstances where a team fight goes really well for Neon? They need so many items, it feels like. There's a lot of setup with their stuns, but it kind of feels like they just need a lot. And I'm also concerned that nobody on their team is necessarily a sustain engine. They might... I don't think there's any point in buying the Pipe of Insight for Timbersaw. So he should just go for a more aggressive build on the big wordy man. Hey, awesome, Norman. Thank you. Thanks for letting me know. Oh, sorry about that. The O-Bot is a bit aggressive, Biggest Spoon. It's a little bit aggressive on some sexy terms. I'm not the one that configured it. Jägermeister, mod of the century, who's actually currently, as we speak, modding for BTS qualifiers for this. He's the one that set all of this up, so things might not be as loose as I'm comfortable with, but it does keep things very clean, which I suppose is a win in and of itself. I'm wondering what the build is for Nature's Prophet in this game. Does he go Deso, or is this going to be a crit stick game? Just going for that raw right-click damage. And it'll be interesting to see what the option stack is going to be for him.
Fight me.
Game is going to be underway now, as looks like the rune trade is going to be fairly standard here. Not going to have any wild shenanigans, although Neon's going to get 3, it seems. Yeah, they got 3 instead of 2. All right. It's a very good start to the game. Zion, yes, indeed, I'm South African, comrade. All the South Africans can always tell. So now we are underway here with game number 1 between the two sides. One of these teams goes and proceeds through the upper bracket. The other one drops down and has to play it out from the lower bracket, which is always terrifying and scary. We'll see how it goes though. Here we begin the laning phase. Should be a fairly decent lane for the Nature's Prophet. He farms all he wants. Unfortunately, with the heroes they have in this lane, Nature's Prophet, Clockwork, you can't kill Bloodseeker. Not even you can't. It's literally impossible. It will not happen. He's always going to have his full sustain. Death should be more or less at full HP the entire time. Just a nice solid lane. At the same time, they can't really run down Natsumi until they have access to Rupture. So does mean that this Nature's Prophet doesn't die, just farms to his heart's content. We see down bottom, Raven getting chased down onto Enryu, and he will be able to find the first blood there. So we've been seeing this a lot more lately with these Timbersaw offlane matchups. We started seeing this a lot, in particular at the major with this Luna hero, where this would be a hero that would dominate the Timbersaw just through sheer magic damage in the earlier portion of the game. In terms of magic damage that's oppressive, Luna is good, but Gyrocopter is the king of the castle. Not surprising that he's able to run down Enryu there, get himself the first blood on the Gyro. Getting it wet. Oh, hey. yeah, a bigger spoon. I still need to like reconfigure some stuff and try to make it a little bit looser, but I don't know, man. Some stuff we've seen in this chat before has been atrocious, so we're also trying to make sure that we strike a nice balance.
Did I hear a squeak?
Yopaj in the mid lane. This is a matchup that should be won by TA for the most part. Invoker still gets his farm, doesn't get like ran out of this lane by any chance, but Chuan, for the most part, will be favored in this matchup here. Just more that you can do on this TA versus Invoker. Even when the Invoker does have this Quas Wex build to go for the Tornado, just the uptime of Refraction is just insane. And Natsumi gonna get silenced up here. I mean, look at this. Death is literally at full HP, dude. How crazy is this? This is insane. In the meantime, obviously, Enryu is not able to get the same degree of success on his Timbersaw here in the offlane, as storming in, falling behind this Gyrocopter at present. One of the issues that I have with the nature of this game right now for Neon, and this is why I was like, after the Nature's Prophet pick, I sort of detracted my favorability for them, is now that they have a bad game sort of from the offlane for Timbersaw, and he's not really going to feel comfortable for a long time in this game, jumping deep into the fights. Who's the one that does that job for you? And even when he can do that job, he just gets ruptured. And then what? Then they just run away from him, the rest of Fnatic, and it's all good. So it feels like a little bit of a complication here that this early laning phase hasn't helped me waylay Junwell. He'll find himself getting silenced up, and a quick pause. Dodo audio, negative response from most girlfriend. Lol. So my partner, every time she's with me while I'm casting Dota, she says that to her it's all just pretty lights, man. And a biggest boot. I'm glad you're enjoying yourself. I'm glad you're having fun, comrade. That's the important thing. Doesn't matter how fire I feel I am. The only arbiter of that is the audience. So if you're having fun, I'm having fun and I'm happy. Right now, just waiting for this pause to conclude. Morana just going on a small roaming mission here. He's back in the game. And the G-Core will come in. Now that we're back underway. Also, why do I keep forgetting my network graph thing here? Also, has anybody else been feeling lately that after the last update, your FPS has dropped quite significantly in Dota? It was the update that, it was actually ironic, it's the update that gave global support for FSR, the super resolution, AMD's upscaling tech. And I tried the upscaling tech, it's okay. At least in Dota 2 it's okay. But either way, since then, if you're not using the upscaling, my FPS has been very iffy in this game, very weird. Mid lane, tornado set up into an arrow. We actually saw this yesterday from Neon, where I was critiquing them quite heavily and saying, yo, you only have Mirana and Invoker. On what universe are you going to be able to find initiation with these two heroes? Well, Neon's like, oh wait, bro, let's show you. CT and Mirana, let's go, boy, let's go. As it stands right now, though, the game, I personally feel, is super favored for Fnatic at the moment. Not only are they getting everything that they want out of the laning phase in terms of CS, but they are able to play without having to sacrifice any efficiency in these lanes. We know Io is always going to be tied to this gyrocopter. TA is doing well enough middle that she doesn't really require help from jabs, so he can spend his time in between stacking these camps for Chuan to farm later, and making sure that this Bloodseeker is never really in any threat of dying. Either way, it's an early setup that is quite beneficial for them. Later on, DJ is not going to be happy about playing versus Timber. This is one of the few things that can happen. Timber eventually does get to the point where his job in the fight is to try to find DJ and deal with him early. But it's not the easiest thing in the world. There are always complications. Death. Just gonna be inside some power cogs right now. But again, he's literally not concerned. That's the easiest lane I've ever seen for a Bloodseeker. 100% free farm. You see Chuan now trying to get some more farm in the jungle, accelerate the timing further, and extend this lead that's been emerging over the Invoker. Experience though, it is Invoker favored at the moment. Invoker doesn't have to ever go farm side camps. Only concerned with these creeps in the mid lane. I don't think we've seen anybody roam middle either. So been quite a bit of experience for the Invoker. Did also find a kill earlier. Or an attempted one rather, but didn't end up working out. Did just buy time for him to farm in the lane unencumbered by the Templar Assassin. Invoker has made a movement and a rotation down to this bottom side of the map. Now that they have level 6 on Enryu, they have quite a decent bit of burst damage. General TP is behind the tower, but now that they scout out that it's Clockwork and nobody else, I doubt that they'll play aggressively. Everybody's gonna get back to the tier 1. Yep, we see Gyro retreating behind the tower here with the IO. They will not scout out this observer ward that's laid out. However, now they're sufficiently far enough away from this Timbersaw that even if the tornado did come out from the Invoker, there's no chance of tornado hitting, arrow hitting, and there being follow-up from Timber, so there's no chance for a kill as a result. They're gonna try for this kill middle though. Jamal is gonna find himself a Earth Spike. Chuan is gonna get only the second kill of this game. It has been a very, 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 very quiet early game here. Which tends to mean that when the tension does eventually break, it's gonna break in explosive fashion. Hey, GX on Motivate 120. Alright, so yesterday we had an entire 2-1 day with the exception of the beatdown that Neon put onto Motivate Trust. So if they're able to come back with a W today, it means that Motivate is not completely out of it. Hope we don't get a 2-0 in this matchup. However, generally speaking, when things get really tense and close, anything can happen. One thing that's really beneficial about having these kind of early games when you're playing the Gyrocopter lineup and the Tempo Assassin lineup is that there's no way you lose this farm war. No matter how long this game goes, you're favored as Fnatic. So what impetus do you have to play fast? And now your Page, that's the second rotation that he's made that hasn't really panned out. I love that Death even tips him. Like, hey man, how things going there in the mid lane? You enjoying yourself? You're having fun? Right now, Fnatic, Gyro and everybody's farming. How far ahead is your Page from getting the Spirit Vessel? Still a decent way away. As well, Gyrocopter's almost got the Maelstrom. They're going to be able to finally take this tower now, but generally speaking, as Timbersaw, you want to be able to take the tier 1 tower in your lane. Like pre 10 minutes, and especially when there's a Nature's Prophet in the game. There used to be a meta a few years ago with Timbersaw being played out with Nature's Prophet either like mid or 5, and then the Prophet just finds itself in the lane where the Timber is around the 6-minute mark. And then you just push super hard and you get the tower. So it feels like a fairly late push coming in here from Natsume. Rotation will go top from Chuan's TA to look for a kill that might lead into the tier 1 tower. Oh, the issue with the Sprout, we were talking about this in the draft stream, you might have missed it. The primary issue with the Sprout plays is that Death is going to carry a hatchet, Gyrocopter's carrying a hatchet, and TA is carrying a hatchet. Everybody's ready for the Sprouts. There's absolutely no way that Sprout is going to be the setup for the Cataclysm. In fact, I actually doubt that the Invoker would buy the early Aghanims here. He can get it eventually, but early it feels like it's a mistake. Hookshot coming in from Genoel. Arrow will follow this one up. Now they have the damage to kill the Bloodseeker at long last. Big rotation. It's been taking a while for this to take fruit, but they finally managed to find a way to have it be effective. Getting a quick kill in the top side of the map. Jabs. Trying to run himself away. Has the Earner Shadows out onto him and does throw out a very nice Earth Spike connecting on the 3, but unfortunately, there will be absolutely no way for him to escape. Should allow OB.Neon to take out the tier 1 tower in the top lane. This is the one thing that they have in major favor over the side of Fnatic. Fnatic's push is kind of atrocious. Endu farming these ancient stacks right now, just making sure that they steal these away from the Gyro and the TA. This is so good actually from Neon. And the thing is, they need to be playing around this timing. Their mid-game feel, there does come a point just now for the Timbersaw. He just picked up this Hood of Defiance. I'm not sure if he's gonna go for Sanjin Kaya or something else. Maybe even a Lotus Orb for this game, given how few stuns there are on the side of Fnatic. Hookshot forward, they get the connection onto Chuan. He's inside these power cogs. They do save him with the Wisp reload coming in with the tether. And Chuan is still alive. They will try and now take the fight. Chakram, will it kill him? Chuan will be able to stay alive. And the Finger of Death onto Enryu. They get that kill. CTM, can he TP out to safety? Yes, he can. The very last second. But the IO DJ shows up, keeps Chuan alive, allows him to turn the engagement instead. And now the entire team of Fnatic showed up to the mid lane, will allow them to push onto the tier 1 tower. Tornado Paj tried his best to try and potentially interrupt the tower siege and maybe go for a deny, but it will not happen. And the thing is, at this stage of the game, Gyrocopter with this Maelstrom building into Aghanim Scepter, much scarier than a Witchblade Nature's Prophet. Feels like this NP, it's going to be very difficult for her to find herself in a position where she's genuinely threatening on the map. We'll have the Moonlight Shadow. Yes, he did. Yeah, first finger stack from Jabs on that one. Hookshot, General goes for onto to death, but they get a very nice blood right that silences up the Invoker, so they can't follow this up. Despite General being there with the power cogs, there's no follow-up available if everybody's silenced. And this is the difficulty, right, with the Neon draft. They don't necessarily buy blink daggers for their initiations like that. They need their spells. So they all have to come en masse in the same direction. Little choke point that's very easy to exploit as a Bloodseeker. We'll see them try to exploit the life of Jabs here, and they'll succeed in doing so, bursting him down in the river as you try to go contest for an illusion rune. Sorry about that, y'all. I was being bothered by cars and whatever, so I had to just go close the door. Yes, Bloodseeker Force Staff is it's a requirement to buy Force Staffs in a game versus Clockwork. That's why you see them queuing up multiples. Lion's queuing up one, Bloodseeker already has one, and they're not going to get one on the IO, of course. He's going to be just all in on the sustain items for the team. But you can't play against Clockwork without Force Staffs. It's something that even the proest of pro teams make a mistake of doing at times. Fnatic, though, not going to fall into that trap. They're going to relocate bottom, looking for Jinwell. Speaking of Clockwork, you know, you don't need Force Staff against him if he's dead, though. Haha. Somehow they're still maintaining a 2k gold lead for the side of OB.Neon. Lots of gold on this Nature's Prophet, as well as on this Timbersaw. Death on the side of Fnatic isn't really that farmed. He went for this early Force Staff instead of going for like a Maelstrom or something. So that does mean that there's going to be a depression in terms of his own acceleration of farm. That being said, you can still go for this Gleipnir, and you're actually going to change tax. Going to go straight for the Gleipnir. Rod of Atos first. I might not actually go for the full Gleipnir, but I definitely can see the wisdom behind getting that item. And look at the Force Staff onto Jabs. This is going to be the source of initiation. Will they have enough to kill him? Of course they do. CTM is gone. Who needs Blink Dagger when your Bloodseeker has a Force Staff, baby? That was so dope, actually. that was the coolest shit ever, man. You see now, the one thing that they have still been struggling with doing or being able to accomplish is the fact that even when they do have all of this and they do find themselves in a position where they're able to get these kind of kills, we still see them struggling to take down towers. They're looking for the second one now. Neon don't want to allow them to have it. They'll come top. Arrow finds Jabs first and foremost. Jabs is gone. Will they retreat? Enryu finds himself ruptured up. Janwa with a very nice hookshot connecting onto Death, who Force Staffs himself away from those power cogs. Yours into the air. Will they set this up for a kill? Yes, they will. Death is gone. At the same time, though, they end up losing Natsumi, brought down by Raven, and now the fight is really on for Fnatic. The Gyrocopter might just be unleashed. Janwa will die. It's a double kill for Raven. Look at the HP of Enryu. Needs to try flee away from this fight. Slowed down, but Chuan has a blink, gets to the other side of the fight, but just doesn't have enough damage just yet. They end up losing 3 on the side of Fnatic, but they punch back pretty hard. Knock Natsumi in the face, bring him down. And just that one death on the Nature's Prophet sort of equalizes the gold. But to make matters worse, because it's the Gyrocopter and the TA that survived this fight from Fnatic, these are the 2 heroes that you be comfortable with killing, even if it costed 3 of your own. But these are the heroes that survive and accelerate, making life that much more difficult. for the rest of Neon as the game extends. Am I well hydrated? I am trying to be. I'm trying to be. I have a bunch of water nearby, so I'm doing the right thing. Hey, Miss Bandits, what's going on? It's all good. We get it. I understand. Take it easy. Have us on in the corner there. Get some work done, but we are chill. We're ready and waiting for you when you get back. Fnatic now in a position where they're still being out-farmed by OB.Neon. These deaths are starting to rack up on death, pun intended. Second one, in tandem with the fact that he needs to give up so much of the map to his team, means that if they don't find a good fight for this Bloodseeker, they run the risk of him just falling completely behind and being nothing more than a Rupture / Blood Right machine. Not the ideal set of circumstances for this hero. So would certainly be looking to find a way to be involved in fights without losing his life. Do you now see some pretty dope tier 2 items pop up? Quicksilver amulets for both teams. A Pupil's Gift on Dire. Oh, look at this. Mirana denies the tower in the top lane. That's actually so sick. That tower was dead for sure. Raven and DJ were coming for it right now, so taking it out early. Ensure that they do not get access to that gold. That was actually a classic deny. Nowadays, a lot of the denies that we see generally happen in the midst of the push itself. One of the heroes from the team defending the tower will try position nearby it, throw out a stun or two, and then get the last hit. But this is a more classic deny. Before they even approach the tower itself, make sure he removes it from play. Good times. The Nature's Prophet needs to be very far ahead in order to win this game. The issue is that the damage that can come out of NP is always going to pale in comparison to what's possible with the Gyrocopter and the Templar Assassin. Part and parcel of having these kind of heroes is their ability to almost single-handedly win an engagement. Nature's Prophet is not that hero. He needs his entire team to be with him to win out these fights. What's also really frustrating is that even when he picks up this BKB and the AC, they still have sources of damage to deal with him. Once he gets BKB, they'll still have the physical damage. Once he gets AC, BKB duration will be down to 6 seconds, so they'll still have access to some of this magic damage. Really is complicated right now in terms of what do you itemize as this hero. Especially because the Gyrocopter is about to pick up his own BKB. And you don't yet have that much physical damage to really threaten Gyro once he goes into BKB. This Roshan attempt from Fnatic will get forced out. And there's actually going to be a relocate gank down bottom. They want to try to go for Natsumi here. Natsumi found. Natsumi killed. Oh no. Oh no. Uh-oh. That's a big deal. That is massive, massive, massive. CTM, my friend. Okay, there will be a Rupture coming in. They forced off down. Will they be able to find this kill? Absolutely. Still alive for now, but eventually the kill will happen. They throw out an EMP, but they know for a fact that there's no way they actually chase back and get these kills. Tuan now has Deso. So Blink, Deso with the D-Lance. No way they don't take Roshan right now, and there's no way Neon can stop them. Honestly, I'll be honest and say the game's over. It's actually not possible. Well, it's possible, but it's at this point. I'm fairly certain this is like 95-5. At the very least, they get the Roshan kill for Neon, so it's only snatched by Chuan, but still a free kill. I mean, okay. Wow, dude. Allow that D-Lance bonus range. Literally allows him to sit beyond the power cogs and right-click the cockwork. Oh my goodness. Feels bad to be clocked in that situation. It is what it is. Page. did just pick up the Hand of Midas not too long ago. So this will allow him to at least still keep pace in this game. Still don't have an ATOS for death. After they finish... Okay, you have to buy Glepnia this game. If nothing else, just so you can get a Maelstrom and get some farm death. My goodness. BKB now up for Raven. Nah, Jirini, they're not going to throw this game because they're playing heroes they're comfortable with. Yesterday, the game that they threw was that game where Raven was playing Axe. And Raven 100% threw that game, but he's not an Axe player, so it's fine. Death gonna be ATOS down. General will go in with the jump in with the hook shot. They try to force off Death out of the equation. There's gonna be a Yule to keep him alive. Enryu right in front of the gyro and get ruptured. Tries to timber chain away and ends up killing himself. Natsumi here with the BKB trying to bring down Jabs. Jabs still alive. Doesn't even die here from being solo assaulted by the Nature's Prophet. The only casualty of this fray thus far is this Timbersaw. It looks like that's how it will stay. They try to jump the Bloodseeker. Io. Man, DJ is just having a monster performance today. General, bye-bye. Get killed by Tron again. Man, Fnatic looks so clean this game. Honestly, it doesn't feel like Neon can do anything. Like, this game is actually over, dude. GG, go next. Start thinking about what heroes to pick. Chief among them. Make sure that if you're gonna pick Nature's... You can't have Nature's Prophet and Invoker. I feel like one or the other. Gone are the days where either of these heroes can solo or carry a game alone. Even if you look at, say, for example, teams like EG, who often pick this Nature's Prophet for RTZ in the safe lane, they'll never pick it with a hero like Invoker. It'll always be like some Leshrac middle, some TA, these kind of heroes that can have that solo influence on the game so that it's not 100% RTZ's responsibility to win things out for them. But with this Invoker, you're not presenting much threat to either Raven or Chuan. Two of them can start to slowly play the game out towards victory. See a lot of ATOS looking to connect onto your Page, but Ghostwalk will make sure that it keeps him safe. Able to disjoint the projectile there. Tier 2 tower being sieged slowly but surely for Fnatic because they want to claim this outpost. Still have access to this Aegis for another minute or so. Full 90 seconds. And Neon are putting in some heroes on this one. I don't know about this. I don't know about this. Hookshot onto this Gyrocopter. Although Gyro doesn't have the Aegis. Gyro's just gonna die. Finger of Death from Jabs with the Earth Spike goes out onto Natsumi. But there's no follow-up. They just lost the Gyro heads up. He wasn't tethered to, so he just lost his life. Jabs now will die to the Sunstrike. The tether didn't reach him in time, so I was just gonna come back and die normally anyway. Okay. That's something. Okay, that's something. Massive fight there for the side of Neo. How much gold did they get for killing Gyro? 500 gold almost for the Nature's Prophet. Damn. That's why he's on top of the farm charts right now. This is good for Neon. This is what you need. You need to be ahead. At any given point in time, if you're ahead, that's the win con. We see that this Bloodseeker still nowhere close to Glepnia, so you don't have to worry about Bloodseeker anymore, right? He's literally a Rupture Bloodright machine. Every now and then, he'll force off a certain target or use the Rod of Atos. But he's no longer a threat in the same way that Timbersaw is still a threat to have to worry about and deal with. Neon did show their very good proof of concept of it being possible if they find a 400 to 0 jump. With all the chain disables, they have to commit everything, but it is still possible to kill these heroes and route back Fnatic. Nature's Prophet does get the AC now. What does Invoker have? Invoker wants Aghanim Scepter after BKB, that's fine. They might not be able to rely on Sprout as a method of initiation for the Cataclysm, but they can certainly rely on the Clockwork Goblin, supplying the power cogs. Moonlight Shadow, used by CTM and the gang. They come across Raven. They have to know that there's no way he's alone on this side of the map. Vision is being granted. Ooh, CTM. They saw him, but the Earth Spike from Jabs didn't connect initially. Chuan will just blink by. Chuan's in a bad place right now, actually. There's going to be a little rupture going out onto the Timbersaw right now. They get Chuan out of the power cogs. Death running a little bit of distraction plays here. Jean-Noel will get brought down by Raven as Death gets taken out. But this is a bad position to be in for Neon. Double silence will be there onto both Natsumi as well as Enryu. Raven goes in with the BKB. They bring down Enryu with the finger of death. Natsumi tries to get out of here. Will he succeed? No, he will not. Taken out, brought down. No buyback for either. There was a buyback here from the, I believe it was the IO that brought back. Oh, Clockwork brought back. IO didn't die. Clockwork brought back. They only lost death on the one side from Fnatic, but they get 3 from Neon. Massive, massive fight there, especially because they also, in the entire time, managed to find yet another kill onto Natsumi. And that's right after they picked up the AC. That was supposed to be the fight. OB.Neon went for that engagement. Remember that they smoked up and used Moonlight Shadow to try and find a positive fight there. And were just unable to do so. And as a result, not only do they lose the fight, now DJ almost has a holy locket. He's already been so clutch with these heals. Imagine once he has the locket online. Yopaj. At this point in time, you actually cancelled getting the Aghanim Scepter. Probably someone on the team was like, dude, when are we actually going to land these Cataclysms? The issue is that General, like I was saying earlier, can set up for a target, but you're never 100% certain of who the Clockwork is going to be finding inside the hook. And also there's the threat of IO relocating them at the last second just before the Cataclysm goes off. Then you feel like you've wasted gold. And Jareen, indeed, if this was a different hero on the other side of Fnatic, no Gyro, no TA, game would not look nearly as bad for Neon. The issue is just that these heroes, they always feel so oppressive at all stages of the game as they start to get stronger and stronger. Also, I really wish Natsumi was playing Faceless Void. If you were playing Faceless Void, this game would be so good for Neon. BKB now picked up by the TA. And the Gyrocopter gone for an Ioscadi here. Extremely powerful hero at present. Moonlight Shadow. Popped off right now. Wanna just go back into the Roshan pit. Just grab themselves an easy Aegis. And Aegis, the shot, and the cheese easily picked up for them. We do see a hook shot as Chuan. Oh, they turn onto Jean-Noel. Finger of Death down again. That's going to be the 5th stack for Jabs. And also a Blink Dagger for the Lion. Later than I'm comfortable with personally, but 4-star Blink at 30 minutes as Lion is acceptable. Perfectly good. God damn it! Why is the WhatsApp sound back again? So I know how to deal with this. I know exactly how to deal with this. There we go. WhatsApp sound gone. Tier 2 tower taken out by the side of Fnatic. They're actually gonna relocate down bottom. Who have they found? Oh god, they found Natsumi. They found Natsumi. Try TP out, my friend. Oh, for all the good. Oh, he's actually fine. Raven couldn't get the beat on him. Okay, they don't have the right click damage, and now Tornado was thrown out onto this Chuan TA here. They threw out the rupture onto Enryu, but both Enryu and Yopaj should be a-okay in this situation. Still do have the Aegis of the Immortal. They let it sit on this Gyrocopter at the moment, so they have the ability to push on this high ground, but Gyro very close to dying here. Raven, can they keep him alive? Mech popped. And Sunstrike will come out, but it won't be on the correct target. Would have been nice to get the easy pop on the Aegis. On the bright side, you did force them to use the mech and Holy Locket, so it's going to take a little bit of time for them to have the availability of their sustain, so they'll probably just back. That's the one thing that Neon can do. Because their pushing power is so bad on the side of Fnatic, the only way they actually push up the high ground is if they win a full fight. So there's always going to be chakrams, there's always going to be Wrath of Nature, there's always going to be arrows, there's always going to be tornadoes, there's always some way to make sure that the lane that's being sieged at that moment in time is effectively impossible to play. It's very scary that this game has been ahead for Neon in terms of gold, despite the game advantage being clearly favored for Fnatic. It is terrifying for the side of OB.Neon, the fact that this gold advantage is gone. Like, they already need a gold advantage to feel good in this game. Nice kill down bottom as Januel sets up with a hookshot to ensure that the Wisp cannot TP to safety. But consider that Death is not too far away from having BKB. It won't always be useless. Eventually, we'll also get this Aghanim Scepter. If you're going to be a Rupture Machine, fine. Let me be a double Rupture Machine. If I Rupture Timbersaw and Rupture Nature's Prophet, sweet, I'm winning the fight. Team slowing down a little bit. Despite having this Aegis, they know on the side of Fnatic how hard it is to get up onto the high ground. What items are they potentially waiting for? The BKB potentially, or the Aghanim Scepter on Bloodseeker. Could be getting the Satanic on the Gyrocopter. Although we do have a Spirit Vessel sitting on the Joker. With Io, Satanic, yeah, Gyro is going to have a very hard time dying. Next Roche will be Roshan number 3. They got Roche 2 on the side of Fnatic and they gave the shard to TA. I think she also kept the cheese as well and they gave the Aegis towards Gyro. But maybe Io should carry the cheese actually. Yeah, there we go. Slowly but surely Fnatic are still just pulling further and further ahead. But Neon, not completely helpless, right? They still have options of things that they can do as the game goes later. Your Page can still buy this Aghanim Scepter, and though the likelihood of it going off successfully are very, very low, if it does go off successfully, it's a ton of damage that Fnatic don't really have that many tools to deal with. Can still eventually buy these sheep sticks. Natsumi is gonna go all in for this right click damage. Went for the Satanic now, so he has some degree of survivability. Oh, if it's Ags next, absolutely, dude. Holy smokes. If there's a free Aghanim Scepter next, you give it to TA? My gosh. Then suddenly some of these heroes on the map start to become very sad pandas indeed. Clockwork won't be enjoying life anymore. They'll have just so much setup on the map. Once they see a Psionic Trap, somebody walks past it. TA shows up. Relocate in from the Jiraiya. What does Gyrocopter actually have now? Full Satanic is finished. BKB, Scotty, Maelstrom with the Aghanim Scepter. Still some room to grow into the full Mjolnir. Can still get himself access to Moonshot. Swallow the Aghanim Scepter and pick up like a Butterfly or a Daedalus. So many options for Gyro. Raven's looking feeling pretty good. Natsumi is able to at least make sure that his creeps can push out on the side waves. It's a very tense game right now. It's super close. And the fact is, despite that they have much better team fight from Fnatic, much easier for Neon to spread the map at this stage of the game. Clockwork rocket flares on the one side, Invoker throwing in spells, Treants continually pushing in these waves. Doing a really great job here. The Treants actually maybe gonna get a tier 3 tower. Dude, what a player. What a player. It's one hit away from being brought down, 9 HP, but we all know that this is not going to be much longer for this world. Despite Fnatic being stronger, Neon are playing this map very well. And they're like, cool, if we're going to lose out on fights, guess what? We'll never take them. Ever. Not going to happen. Ooh, that's nice. Death finds a Trickster Cloak for the crew. Who do they give this to? Yeah, they're going to give it to the IO. They want to make sure that the magic resistance with the invis activation is available for the one hero that they cannot afford to lose early in the fight. Actually, they switch it out for a Minotaur Horn though. What do they give Jabs the Trickster Cloak? Nah, he's sitting with the Psychic Headband. There's a Prism that side. No one wants the cloak. Good times. Moonlight Shadow used up now by Neon. So we might actually see them go for an aggressive maneuver here. Several heroes are on the top lane. I think they want to maybe make space for Natsumi, but they're just going to back off. We will not see any kind of major aggression coming out from Neon despite the activation of the Moonlight Shadow. Ultimately immaterial, as they were not going to go for any kind of fight. Arrow. CTM does at least find a target here, just randomly scopes him out, but knows definitely that there's not going to be an approach coming in. Also saw Invoker start to queue up this refresher, so gonna have double stun strikes, double caddies. And we finally have the Bloodseeker Aghanim Scepter, so double rupture is online. I'm glad that he opted for Ags before the BKB. Honestly, I felt like BKB wouldn't change that much about their game, but Ags could actually make a difference. Roche is online. This is Roche number 3, bear in mind. So we do have ourselves a lot of goodies to claim. The question is, will they be able to stop this from the side of Neon? Inside the Roshan pit already from Fnatic. Raven is dishing out this damage. Chuan has Daedalus, so the additional damage from the TA can also make a difference here. Janwal with hookshot, thinking about maybe going in. CTM's arrow will connect onto Roche. This is actually pretty good for Fnatic. As arrows down, Roche takes out these Forge Spirits. Also, Natsumi has been drawn to this side of the map. I thought they were going to leave Natsumi bottom and have him just try to siege those waves and force in these treants. But Chuan, it turns out, is not going to be having any of this. They go into the Moonlight Shadow. Will they actually try to force this fight here? BKB, pop by Raven. They want to try to take the Aegis. It's falling very low now. And Rage is snatched by Natsumi. Cataclysm will be coming out. Doesn't really connect that much. Natsumi loses his first life inside the Roshan pit. Raven, though, doesn't have BKB anymore. But does he have the damage to fight Natsumi? Earth Spike will make sure that Natsumi can't move, so Natsumi will just die. Jump up onto the high ground, hex onto Enryu, despite there being a Lotus Orb. Can he get away with the Timber Chain? Yopaj will find himself blood righted with Enryu. Both of them silenced up right now. Can they get this kill? One right click from Chuan turns into 2 and turns into a dead Yopaj. Enryu trying his best to run himself away. Natsumi brought back to try and go and siege the base. He's looking for a lane of racks down bottom. He took the tier 3 tower. Would he be able to get away with taking the racks? No, he can't. Almost got the melee racks, but everybody from Fnatic returned in time to mount the defense. Did not see what goodies the Roshan dropped in that situation. Let us see if we can suss this out now. I'm not seeing a refresher shard anywhere, so it might have been an Aghanim Scepter. What's snatched by Natsumi? Let's see who has that axe without having it in their inventory right now. What happened? It must have been a shard. The only way that this is possible is if it was a shard that got picked up and used basically immediately. I'm sure Natsumi probably used the shard to try and get back his BKB charge. And it just ended up not mattering in the end of the day. Mid lane. Death might find himself getting brought down here, and indeed will be a heavy casualty of war. Despite all these fight successes, Fnatic are still no closer to actually breaking the base. At the same time, Neon can only really try force pushes in circumstances where they're trying to go on the side lanes. Yeah, they forced the buyback out of the Nature's Prophet to go force that push in the base. That's pretty much it though. The thing is, Fnatic actually don't feel comfortable going up the hill without having the Sages. Because if they're fighting on flat terrain, their team is really, really good. However, if they're trying to go up the hill, it becomes a little bit more difficult under those circumstances. I don't believe Invoker bought back. No, he didn't. He did not. Janwal bought back and Natsumi bought back. But your Page is still good for the money. Natsumi is going to just TP out to safety down bottom. They try to scan to connect us, but they now know that he's gone. Maybe Chuan might just show up and rinse out this creep wave, and indeed he will. 2k gold lead right now for Fnatic. This game, not really on a razor's edge, but more on a... Oh, top. We might actually have a fight here. Natsumi might be caught. Do they have the ability to kill him? Natsumi trying to get out of trouble. BKB TP out. And Chuan, despite having the Deso and the Stateless, unfortunately does not have enough damage to punch through Natsumi. When you're at a 6-second BKB, you don't care. You'll just pop this every single time, so it's fine. I think TA needs Nullifier. He's gonna buy the Aghanim Scepter, but somebody on the team needs a Nullifier at some point to help them deal with Natsumi. We're also getting closer and closer to that point where Natsumi would have the level 25 of the Treant HP with the damage. Right now we are in a very interesting phase, right? Fnatic is ahead, but weirdly enough, the way Neon are playing this game, I have a sneaky suspicion they're gonna win. At least the way it's looking right now. If nothing changes, I feel like they might rat this out and just try to force a victory. Fnatic is just playing way too carefully. They're not gonna do anything reckless. They might try now though. Chuan does have access to BT, so he can make himself present for this push down bottom if needed. But it's so hard to get up the hill, yo. Tornadoes, chakrams, arrows, Wrath of Natures. Ooh, they found Natsumi. Natsumi's gone. It's no buyback for 2 minutes. Okay, the game just ended. Or rather, the game should have just ended. Let's see what the side of Neon can do now. You're in possibly the worst situation. The presence of Natsumi is one of the huge factors in making Fnatic very, very careful with how they push. Now that they know for a fact that he's not available for the next 100 seconds, what can they accomplish here? Looking for the tier 3. Look at the damage coming in from Chuan onto this building. Gonna be a Hex flying out onto the gyrocopter. Is it Emryu's Hex, right? Yeah. So they did eventually get that sheep stick we spoke about earlier, but it's turning out to thus far not be enough. Neon, can they hold for 75 seconds? Tier 3 does eventually fall. Rax is going to be very soon to follow. And they're going with the Moonlight Shadow just to try to get away from this fight. Jabs, they find the initiation onto your Paj. Your Paj is gone for sure. Sean takes them out. Godlike streak for the Templar Assassin. Does force a buyback out of the Invoker. Raven will eat an arrow to the face, but absolutely no way they have the damage to get this kill. There's still a mech for the IO. There's still Satanic for the Gyrocopter. Activates it himself. Just right click back up to full. Force off onto the low ground to make sure that even though he got arrowed, not really in danger of dying here. DJ, tether, pop the mech, everything's fine. Still 30 seconds, no Nature's Prophet. And remember, they bought back on your Paj, so if they die back on your Paj, this game could just end. Probably is over anyway. The second lane of Rax will tumble. Jump in, Chuan looking for the follow-up kill onto your Paj, he finds it. There's your dieback. No Invoker. What do they do next? Jabs, he's gonna at least get brought down here, but it's gonna cost the life of Januel, who also lacks buyback at this point in time. Triple kill for Chuan. Raven's been concerning himself only with the buildings while this is happening. And yes, Natsumi does respawn. But what can a Nature's Prophet do all by himself? The answer is not much. Henry gonna try and bring down this IO. Got ruptured for his efforts. Natsumi comes in with the right clicks, but look how little damage is coming in from the Nature's Prophet. Not gonna be able to do anything. He gets brought down. He gets taken out. GG, well played is called. And Fnatic will secure game number 1 here in this best of 3 in the upper bracket. All right, legit. Really like what I saw here coming in from Fnatic. We were talking about it in the draft, right? And for a little bit, I was thinking, oh, Neon might be able to do this, but last pick Nature's Prophet can't work. Literally, in this draft, in the situation that they were in, I personally don't believe it can work. As in, I don't think it's possible for this draft of Neon to beat the Fnatic draft. Unless something really odd happens in the game, but there's just too many issues to deal with. You always have Bloodseeker making life difficult for the Timbersaw. Rupture, done. That's all you have to do. Raven does so much damage that there's no way for Neon to actually kill him reliably in the game because they lack burst. Look at their draft. Where's the burst coming from? They don't have a Finger of Death. They don't have a Templar Assassin who can 3-shot heroes. They just don't have the capability to fight Fnatic in the way that was needed to take Fnatic down in the situation. I mean, look at some of this damage coming in from Neon, and you'll see what I mean. Like, just the relative values versus Fnatic, just crazy. Also, the heals, man. DJ, 24,000 healing damage. He did more healing, right, than your Paj did damage, than almost anybody except for Enryu. He almost did basically the same amount of heal damage as what Natsumi put out. When that happens, very difficult to win the game. So Fnatic, one game up, and now find themselves only needing the 1 victory to continue the day's trend of 2 zeros carrying us into the future. We'll see whether or not they have what it takes, whether or not they have that medal very shortly as they load into game number 2. In the meantime, as we're getting ready for that, go stretch your legs, grab a glass of water, hydrate yourself. Jireen was asking in chat if I'm hydrated, so I'm making sure y'all are hydrated as well. And also, if you enjoy yourself, you're having a good time, make sure you're following the channel. Decide as well to become a supporter. Be cool, be awesome, become a subscriber here on Twitch. You can become a patron on patreon.com or become a one-time donator here through PayPal. Get your name here, get your name on the break screen, be out here, be involved, become one of the ensnared community, lol. With that, game 1 done, game 2 coming. So don't go anywhere because we'll be right back with some more Dota 2 action. Ladies, gentlemen, and my NB comrades, welcome back here to Snare Casting as we continue with the TI10 qualifiers for Southeast Asia. We just saw game one here between Fnatic and OB.Neon, with Fnatic taking a very decided victory in that one. We're now going to be seeing whether or not they have what it takes on the side of Neon to fight back, claw back a dub here, or if this is going to be one of those games that just goes 2-0, continuing the trend that's been set today. Yesterday was a 2-1 day that was bucked by Neon. Let's see if they can change destiny once more. I'm your boy Snare. Let's get into it. Neon playing on Radiant side. We have Fnatic on the Dire. Finally get to see the Ancient Apparition. Dude, they got AA Dragon Knight. How is this possible? Oh my god. Alright. Neon, we spoke about this yesterday, that if you want to pick Leshrac, you must either pick or ban Mixed Assassin. They were forced to ban Phoenix as well as the Winter Wyvern. Ironically enough, those two heroes as a support duo is what we've been seeing most commonly picked in Southeast Asia behind the Leshrac. It's been like 2 games now that we've seen Lesh picked with Winter Wyvern and Phoenix in this particular bracket. Quite interesting, quite strange in my opinion, but who cares? They're doing their thing. Neon went for the Tusk in the second phase after having banned Clock, Marana, TA, and then Fnatic now get themselves Lion after removing Spec, Bat, as well as the Oracle. Alright, so thinking through what we already have available from us, in particular thinking through, can Neon win this game? They go back for this Nature's Prophet. Man, they're blazing through this draft. They know exactly what they want to do. They want to be able to play with a lot more tempo. Part of the issue of the previous game was consider the support duo. Clockwork, Marana. There's a lot that these heroes can do together. Can help you start fights, can help you advance the lanes, but what they can't help you do is force the map forward, the entire map. As in, Nyx Assassin can make entire areas of the map untenable to play around, can provide very good scouting and protection for the Leshrac. Tusk can be an entire menace in the laning phase to make sure that the first 10 minutes go decidedly in favor of Neon. I do not think that they're happy about the fact that the previous game they lost all 3 lanes. Tusk helps you fix that. Nyx Assassin, depending on how you match it up, can help you fix that. Part of the issue though is now I am much happier with having the Nature's Prophet. Like I mentioned in the previous game, if you must pick Nature's Prophet safe lane, then you have to have a hero like Leshrac mid who can carry the game pressure for you in that way. So I'm happy that they have that, but I'm still not happy about their team fight. Look at Neon's team fight right now versus Fnatic's. Fnatic can drop you down with Ice Blast, multiple heroes inside of an Earth Spike. It's not very easy to set up for a good split Earth for the Leshrac because all your other stuns aren't like super guaranteed either. You need Tusk to get a good Ice Shards before you can split Earth. You need Nyx Assassin to get an amazing Impale before you can split Earth. Potentially you can use the Sprouts from the Nature's Prophet to help you set up, but it still seems difficult for Neon to get their spells out in the order that they want them to. Now Fnatic pick up this Terrorblade here for a Raven. Raven Terrorblade, scary time, scary times. This is a great Terrorblade game. In the event, when he buys BKB, not if, when he buys BKB, then what? Then what? He has even more armor than the Gyrocopter that he was playing in the previous game, and we already saw that Natsumi's right click stopped doing anything to the Gyro after a certain point of farm. And the thing is, Terrorblade, yeah, sure, there are these illusions that might be affected by Lesh, but it's not enough of an impact to make TB. It's not like you're playing against PL, for example. And even PL eventually gets to the point where it stops mattering. Invoker with the Puck banned away from the side of Fnatic. Good bans. I would actually imagine Puck would be an amazing pick. I love that hero with Ancient Apparition. So Void Spirit instead? No, it gets Tidehunter. So we have a mid DK. We don't get this all that often anymore, but I actually love it for this game. It allows them to have a hero in the mid lane versus Leshrac that is 100% never going to lose that matchup. Another hero that is going to buy a Blink Dagger so he can be a source of initiation. You get more team fight on the Tidehunter. So now Neon can't fight you ever. If you as Fnatic have your ultimates online, Neon have to leave every engagement. They do change things up here now at the end of the draft by going for the Zeus. No, don't put Leshrac off lane, put it safe lane. Put it safe. Oh god. Zeus will help them respond to the Terrorblade. There's a lot of high HP targets in this game, so the static field will make quite a big difference. There's also not that much direct jump from the side of Fnatic. Until they get the Dragon Knight Blink Dagger, it's hard to reach deep into these engagements on the far side of where these Neon heroes are. That being said, it still doesn't like solve their problems. They still have damage problems versus Terrorblade. They still don't have the best team fight in the world. Gives them a lot of damage, to be sure. Magical damage is now through the roof. I don't know. I can't in good conscience say I think OB.Neon is gonna win. So yeah, those of you who haven't made your bets and predictions just yet, I personally feel this is gonna be a 2-0 for Fnatic. Neon are gonna suffer the same fate that they applied towards MTG. And the thing is, because they're playing this Leshrac in the off lane rather than mid or safe lane, he's not going to be getting priority in farm. So the hero doesn't have the same potential to completely take over the game. Also, I feel like to completely take over a game, Leshrac needs at least one heal. This game, you have a pseudo save in the snowball, but might not be enough. Neon, will the God for Thunder, Zeus for your Page, bring them back to victory here, take us to a game 3? Or is the old classic Raven Terrorblade gonna stomp them into the ground and give Fnatic the 2-0? Let's find out together. Game number 2 is now underway.
Prepare for battle!
One big thing to consider in this game, in this matchup, is that at pretty much all turns and at all times, we are never going to have a point in the game where the side of Fnatic is like, oh crap, they're too strong to fight, man. We can't go into them. We have to run away from them. Shh. On the bright side though, for Neon, I do think that they do have some lanes which are decent. This lane against Tidehunter, there's a surprising amount of harass that Natsumi can throw out into that lane. Like a shocking amount. Especially if you start off with the early Blightstone. So Death will have to make sure he's playing carefully in this lane. That being said, the other support there, it's a Nyx Assassin. I mean, a Tusk, excuse me. That's also another bright spot for Fnatic. They only have to deal with 2 melee supports. So a lot less harass potential available. Which is a bit of a problem because Neon, we already saw them losing their early lanes in game 1. And ideally, you want to be able to change that trajectory. See what they can accomplish here. Your Page versus Chuan. This lane is better for your Page than it would be if he's playing Leshrac. I still don't think you do enough to zone back a DK in its entirety, but... oh, apparently you do. Oh, it doesn't have Dragon Blood. Oh, okay, that's right.
Well, what did you expect?
Your Page gets the level 1 kill, finding Chuan, getting this quick first blood in the mid lane. Alrighty. Without even having static field. Now he has static field against the DK coming back without a point into the Dragon's Blood. This is fantastic. Beyond fantastic. If you wanted to sketch out what is the dream laning scenario early on in the game, it would look similar to this. Your Page now has the option to zone out Chuan as much as possible before Chuan hits level 3 and the second point into the Dragon's Blood. For now though, your Page also winning the CS battle in this situation. There's so much value to getting that early first blood and finding yourself really far ahead, especially with levels on your opponent. It gives you the capability, and the ability to just completely dominate the rest of the matchup. So that is the one positive switch, I think, from having Leshrac mid to Zeus that I will give towards Neon. Right now, Lesh isn't getting that much out of this off lane. We'll see how things go as time goes on. They can't really kill him though. And Raven just really gets his own farm here. Not really concerned about all that much else. Would like to see this Fnatic lineup make a decision as to, well, not now, but a little bit later on, make a decision as to how and who's going to be the anchor hero in this game. Is it Tidehunter or is it DK? Top lane, you see Split Earth connects onto DJ after the impale. They might find that kill. No, DJ, dead. All right. Good pickup there. And they managed to find themselves a decent grab. 2 kills that Neon have grabbed themselves now. Decent times. Not a hero. What's up, OG? I indeed also thought that Neon was going to have a much better year than they ended up having. Ironically enough, after the Singapore major, they ended up making an offlane kick, but I really thought they were just going to keep death. And here he is as their opponent on the other side. Looking really good so far in the early portion of the game. Shabs in general just come across each other. Ice shards will be there. Does have tag team, but there's no point. There's nobody to tag team with. Kind of like when you show up at the OG alone. Go on. We'll cover a little bit with his CS in middle, but still decisively in favor of Yopal. She might die now though. There comes the Earth Spike from Jabs. Do they have the Hex as well? Tron with the Dragon Tail stun. Jabs does not have any more spells to throw. And I mean, I think the objective was achieved, right? They just wanted to make sure that DK was able to force the Zeus away from getting a refill on the bottle. And that's definitely successful. And with both supports actually drawn away from the top lane, Enryu almost got brought down here. CTM will quickly have to make his way back towards the top lane. It's a little bit ironic, I think, that they haven't tried to make a rotation using this Tusk towards killing mid. They brought Tusk as well as this Nyx Assassin just to hold the lane and try and make it survivable for the Zeus, but I feel like they could have found early kills, especially in that level 2, level 3 period. Feels too difficult to kill Tron. There were some opportunities earlier on. No, don't do this. Don't do this, server. Oh, it's not the server, it's my internet. Okay. Alright, sorry about that, everybody. Just my internet itself just spiked for a second. I thought it was Dota, but it's the actual internet. It's fine. Spikes happen. Spikes occur. Internet is still in beta, just like Dota 2. Soaring now picked up by Death here in the off lane, having the time of his life on that Tidehunter. I mean, we were speaking about it earlier about how it's one of the easiest lanes as Tide. Like, what do they do? Tusk Nature's Prophet versus Tidehunter. Literally nothing. Just get your farm as Death. There's some harass potential, but it seems like because they were rotating the Tusk around, we didn't see them actually use tag team in the lane. I thought they might be able to try early on with tag team level 1 and Nature's Call. Quite a lot of damage, but nothing doing. No such will be happening. DK just now got their own soul ring, and they're trying to get the split earth top, but Enryu should know that they're not going to land this. Laning phase a lot better for Neon in this one. They won the mid lane, doing decently well in that off lane. It's just the safe lane that's of some concern because of how much Death is getting, but Natsumi is also pretty much free farming, so it's not that much of an issue for the most part. Now though, Neon. This is what I wanted to see more of in game 1. It took much longer for this move. Remember we were talking about it. This came out what 10 minutes? But now it's here a lot sooner. As it should be. Not to me, you always want to be making yourself present in the opposing tier 1 lane. Take out the safe lane tower as early as possible. Give space for Enryu to play in this jungle and on that side of the map. Really makes life a lot easier. So, good times. Fnatic feeling good about themselves. About not feeling good about themselves for losing the tower, but will feel decent about getting a quick kill onto CTM. That's farm Raven gets from the kill that he's not able to find in the lane. So, it makes him a little bit happy. Still though, Neon, this is the early game start that they really wanted. Their lineup can snowball, and it's meant to. This is not a draft that they want to play calmly with. Nyx and the Tusk have definitely done their jobs for the most part. There was a little bit of time where CTM wasn't present in the top lane for like a minute and a half. And we see that reflected in the somewhat dismal form of Enryu, compared and contrasted with the rest of his team. I say somewhat because it's like a couple hundred gold, not that much of a deal. Nonetheless, they've done decently enough, and they came to help him by pushing out his tower. So, he can spend much more time in the dire jungle, getting his own farm. Chuan here in the mid lane. Going for early Hood of Defiance. We'll see if he's able. Oh, they might actually try to jump in here. Everybody's coming. Natsumi's also making this rotation, but they haven't been able to find this kill just yet. Chuan still alive, trying to stay alive. There's going to be a healing salve, but unfortunately, those ice shards do not allow him to escape. Your Page with the lightning bolt, able to bring Chuan down into the grave. Did cost pretty much everybody being there to get that kill, which is a bit of a concern. That even this early on, it's that much of a struggle to deal with this DK. Still though, in the grand scheme of things, you're just happy you got the DK down. Doesn't allow you to put pressure onto the tier 1 tower, however, which is a bit unfortunate. CTM catches vision on DJ, but not an easy initiation. We'll be able to find it nonetheless though. Enryu follows that up with the splitter. DJ is just trying to find level 6 somewhere on the map. If he had level 6, actually CTM would be dead right now. Would have turned on him with the Ice Blast. Right now, Chuan getting gone on again. Multiple heroes. Snowball forward. Your Page is here. And there's no assistance for this DK. They end up bringing him down. Fnatic losing 2 heroes all across the map as Neon just bound into action. Looking for their second tier 1 tower. Unfortunately for them, the push they were able to accomplish in the top lane versus the Terrorblade, not really going to be possible if it's the Tidehunter that's sitting in this wave. Also, one might be asking, where was Tide? Why was Tidehunter not the one that's dying instead of Chuan? Well, Tide has responsibilities. He needs to finish the Sword of Defiance and start getting closer to Blink Dagger. So, he was in the jungle, but now they're like, alright fam, you're close enough to this item that you can now be the one that soaks up the pressure in the lane. Let Chuan try to find some easier farm as he gets closer towards Blink Dagger. And of course, the entire time Terrorblade is just farming triangle, unconcerned with the ways of the world around him. Neon coming through with a very good timing with some of these early items, I think. Enryu, him having Hood of Defiance is whatever, but it's this Aether Lens that I'm looking forward to quite a lot. And I believe it's actually arriving now. Yeah, there we go. But Aether Lens on the Zeus. Natsumi should have the Witchblade. It's also arriving now from the courier. So it's go time. Let's go. It's a good time to be alive from the side of Neon. But a lot to punch through. Ravage. Oh, just gets raw committed. Wow, okay. They really want this Leshrac, and Leshrac is gone. Down for the count early on in the fight. At the same time, Finger of Death helps to bring down Genoir. Death might die to your Page. Your Page trying to close the gap so you can go for the Lightning Bolt. We'll be able to find it. Bringing down the Tidehunter. making it a 2-for-1 exchange in the mid lane. But an exchange nonetheless that Fnatic are happy to have made, unless it also cost them this tier 1 tower, which it seems likely to do. Right now, Neon forced back by the fortification. Not to me feeling strong enough to maybe tack a pot shot or two from the tower. DJ might die here. CTM might also die. Okay. Turn around. Ice Blast. Nicely done.
อ้าวเจ้าจังไหนนี่ไหวบ่
DJ just baited him. Going out of their way to keep this tower alive, but Neon, they've got Diabolic Edict. They're going to push for this. The tower will fall. Death now does not have access to a Ravage. Kraken Shell gets him out of the Split Earth. With no Ravage, no way to force them back from the tower, so they just end up taking it. Good stuff from Neon. And this is the kind of pace of the game you need to play when you're playing this Nature's Prophet safe lane, man. They spent so much time in game 1 just farming. Not to me wasn't this aggressive, just showing up in every single lane. If there's action, I want to see the Nature's Prophet there. They've done such a good job as well of slowing down Chuan. 3 deaths, pre-15 minutes. So we're going to have a markedly delayed Blink Dagger coming in from the Dragon. Which also means that their sources of initiation from Fnatic are very difficult to pull off. For example, Neon can just very easily roll through with the snowball. Nature's Prophet can find a decent angle to port onto and sprout somebody, but same is not that easy for the side of Fnatic until they have this Blink Dagger from the DK.
Radiant's middle tower is taking a drubbing. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Death scouted out right now by CTM. And he sees Raven as well. He's like, oh, sweet, y'all. The heavy hitters are on this side of the map. Don't worry about it. Y'all do you that side. It's kind of surprising that Fnatic, despite having DK and Terrorblade, have put literally no damage onto towers that is kind of scary for Neon to deal with. But it does make sense given that they've been playing so aggressively with the Leshrac Nature's Prophet. This is the exact kind of play that we need and want to see from Neon. Oh, they missed the Earth Bite from Jabs. Jabs, the snowball will be there. It's gonna just buy some space. General will not be able to bring down Jabs, but he's just making sure that the escape can be on for Enryu. Fnatic. Yes, doing so cool. As things somewhat calm down here, kind of feels like the thing that needs to be going down for Fnatic to be able to reassert themselves. Not just contingent on finding the farm for these items, but also on Jabs. Okay, I thought Jab was actually gonna get out with the TP there. Don't know why he cancelled it.
อ้าวเจ้าจังไหนนี่ไหวบ่นี่
Maybe he thought they had vision of him. I don't even think they saw him. It's nighttime. He was behind a tree. Maybe a bit too much respect for the opponent there. Now that he's dead, Raven has to go all the way back either into Dire Triangle or farming bottom or something.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Also means there's no time to get closer towards Blink Dagger. It's actually hilarious. Lion was gonna get Blink Dagger around the same time as DK, but ended up having to go on a bit of an excursion. Died in the process as well. Sean
Radiant's middle tower is taking
will go ahead and pop the smoke. Towards the top side of the map, Enryu reveals himself, and there's no way you survive. This time there's a Blink Dagger. Gets revealed. Chuan able to catch him. Alright. I hope Neon are thinking about what to do now in terms of pushing every tower that they can in the next several minutes before there's another Blink Dagger. I feel like one of the reasons right now things look so good for them is because they can make these poking and prodding maneuvers without having to worry about Fnatic jumping too deep on top of them. However, we already won Blink Dagger. 3 are coming. Where's Dos? Dos is this one, right? Yeah. Let's see who's actually going to win this race. Should be TI10. It's almost there. Yeah, I got it. So, 1, 2, and then 3 coming just now. After that, Blink middle from Chuan. They do get the catch onto Januel, but a lot of damage shows up from Yopaj. Beautiful Earth Spike into a 3-hero Ravage. Ice Blast comes through with the Finger of Death. My god, Fnatic. It looked like they might be poised to lose Tron. Nyx Assassin rolled forward, or ran forward. Rolling Thunder, or the Snowball came through from this Tusk, but my god. 2-hero Earth Spike, 3-hero Ravage. Now Fnatic with Metamorphosis as well as the DK form. There's no way that this tower is going to survive. Gets eviscerated. That was so ambitious from Neon. What actually makes it crazy, right, is they have vision. They have an observer ward that actually saw that Tidehunter was not too far away from that area before he even showed up. That was very peculiar from the side of Neon. They're gonna get some revenge now for themselves, finding Death, farming alone in the jungle. No way he survives this one. Whenever their ultimates are down, they actually don't feel very strong. When they're fighting with their ultimates up, they seem oppressively strong, but without them, we've pretty much seen the entire time that once ultis are down and Neon goes for an ensuing fight, it always goes in their favor. See here. Finally, we see Fnatic making a proactive move. Gonna search out Natsumi. Blink Dagger from Jabs revealed. They find Natsumi. They burst them. There's no way to survive this one. They should leave Jabs to survive or to just die by himself here. Blink forward by Chuan. They actually found Enryu. There's gonna be a snowball save. Death reveals his Blink Ravage, but only finds the Nyx Assassin. Nice dodge there by the Tusk God. Gonna go back onto Chuan, and Chuan's in danger. Chuan's gonna die from all this magic damage. Terrorblade has to get out. And they even brought back on the Nature's Prophet there for that one. That was a very surprising fight. The buyback was not necessary. If they didn't buy back, this was so good for Neon. But because they brought back, it ends up just being okay for them. Being able to bring down Chuan and being able to force out that Ravage. Januel, certainly going to be the hero. When he goes back and watches that replay, then they'd be like, most base snowball ever, fam. And now that they know there's no Ravage to worry about, no Finger of Death to be concerned with, no Life of the DK to fight around, that allows us to go into the Roshan pit and take it completely uncontested. Ayy. That sounds like a lovely morning, not a hero. Oh. Big AT's out here chilling. Roshan picked up by the side of Neon, and of course they give it to the most powerful hero on the map of Natsumi. They're looking really good right now from Neon. Only now do they manage to take down their tier 1 tower in the bottom lane. However, in pretty much all other instances, Fnatic just can't hold a candle to Neon at this point. It is still Terrorblade who is farming and looking quite threatening as this game extends, but at this stage, all the advantage and momentum belongs to the side of Neon. Oh, they messed up top. They messed up. They messed up the combo. Jabs messed up, actually. Not they messed up. Jabs messed up the combo. Jabs was supposed to have jumped and found the Hex Earth Spike before the Ice Blast hit, but he let the Ice Blast hit first before he blinked forward. So they weren't able to actually take out the Aegis. Had he actually found that initiation, Natsumi's Aegis would have been taken away. Well, maybe not actually. It's only level 1 Ice Blast. It was from the other side of the map, so maybe. It was a maybe. Either way, Jabs messed up. And they end up losing the tier 2 tower because of it. We've also been seeing these Nimbus Clouds from Yopaj with his Aghanim Scepter. This is the thing, once you get to this stage of the game, you never really have to even be close to the fight. Like, we're gonna probably see a Nimbus Cloud show up now. Oh, Death. Gonna just try to dodge some damage, but there we go. Zeus, I'm helping! I'm helping! Yay! Lol. Immediately, Neon will go in for a smoke. This is the kind of aggression we need from them. Still want to see more of these tier 2 towers taken. Also want to see Fnatic reclaim their outpost right now. Even if they have to commit one of their supports to do it. If nothing else, you know that OB.Neon has to come back around that area if they want to play with the opponent's vision. So it gives you some time where you're aware of what movements Neon will make. For example, now they know for a fact that Neon probably around this area. Play safe. Hey, young Johnny! Young Johnny! What's up, fam? How's it going? And yeah, the scaling of this Fnatic draft is really scary. The only thing that scaled incredibly from the side of Neon is some of the damage from Leshrac, but in particular the static field. Zeus damage scales really well, but I'm really scared about these BKBs when they eventually emerge. Terrorblade wants one off the Scotty. DK already has one. And I don't think Tide gets one this game. I think Refresher should be fine. Maybe they get a Lotus Orb or something. I don't know. Potentially even Pipe actually instead of Refresher. Will he even have enough mana to use the Refresher and Ravage? I don't think so. Because Refresher mana is what, 375, right? We'll talk about it in a second as we have a smoke move here. Januel has a smoke broken. And gone to the higher ground will allow Jabs to escape. Bye! So the smoke unfortunately does not allow them to get all that much. Also, I just did the math on the side. Once he gets Refresher, he literally can't use it. Lol, dude. And unless somebody in the team has a pair of arcane boots, but I don't think they do. He has phase boots as well, so might have to walk around with a mango after he finishes this Refresher, just to make sure he has enough mana to cast. Not to me. Going for the RTZ build here by going in for Aeon Disc, making sure that if he gets jumped all by his lonesome, it's not going to be like in the previous game where he just dies right off the bat. And this time around though, they're not playing versus TA from the mid lane, playing against DK, so the amount of threat not nearly as strong from the entire team of Fnatic. Most of the threat is now sitting on this Terrorblade as things scale later and later. So it gives a degree of confidence for Natsumi that if he just survives long enough, he should be good for the rest of the fight. Now that he has the Aeon Disc, can focus back on damage. Well, we do see now Fnatic uncomfortable with having this entire game. Oof! Nice usage of the Thunder God's Wrath. They wanted to smoke so they can get something done on the map because they're feeling like they're falling slowly and surely behind. But the Zeus is like, nah, boys, go home, bruh. Go home. What y'all doing? Really good stuff. Fnatic now. One other thing that they are struggling with. We saw in the previous game that Death started to have issues with his own farm. That's not going to happen with Leshrac. And a thing they're going to start struggling with is we saw the push potential from Neon. They can't do anything about that, Fnatic. They can split push, can take objectives, they can farm jungle. Neon just have an easier time soaking up the resources on the map. The Fnatic to play very circumspectly, can't afford to be caught out with anybody by themselves alone. Unless it's Jabs. Jabs can be caught, it's fine. You try to lay out these rat traps. Does he have any rat trap? Any wards? No wards, so you can't put a rat trap out. Feels bad. That being said though, would probably make no sense to put out a rat trap or ward on the other side of the map when you're in a behind position. Neon 4k gold lead for them. Natsumi will come bottom and find jabs. Gonna be an easy kill. This is a perfect time to try and kill Natsumi, but getting a beat on a Nature's Prophet is just so difficult. Right now, Neon are just splitting them up on the map, making it very difficult for them to play their game of Fnatic. They want to be able to teamfight, but we saw Neon start to do this when they were losing in the previous game, but they're doing it even earlier now. Not allowing Fnatic an opportunity to stay together, making it inefficient to do so, and then exploiting individual weaknesses when they find you by yourself. The TB is getting huge as well. Going for the Swift Blink after getting... You went for a Hood of Defiance as well. That's scared of the Zeus. I'm surprised that Tide Hunter doesn't just go ahead and buy the pipe at this point. After seeing what's been happening from Zeus, you know, he might just decide to bite the bullet. Speaking of bullets being bitten, smoke here from Neon. They find a jump onto the DK. Chuan, first target here, activates the BKB, still alive, death, almost ravaged, but he's gonna wait, he's gonna take it easy, and there comes the ravage. Enryu's gonna get brought down, Januel fingered into the ground as well. Raven finds a double kill. Will they get more out of this? CTM able to walk away from the Earth Spike. There will be no connection from there. Big Ravage. Death this time around did not fall for the bait. He saw the snowball, but he waited. Revved it up. Let her rip. Sadly though, when Roche comes back in the next 10 seconds, they won't have Meta. They won't have Chrono. They won't have Dragon Form. They won't have AA+. They won't have Finger. Which means Neon will be quite happy to claim this Roche for themselves. And Fnatic will have a hell of a time stopping them from doing so. They'll have vision around the area. They don't want to let this one go for free. Of course, Zeus will do his job with CTM and give the vision necessary to get rid of wards. By the way, do y'all think that should still be in the game? Personally, I don't think it's actually a good thing. Given the increased importance of wards nowadays, I don't like that Zeus and Slog still get like free dewarding. I feel like that needs to change. Ice Blast connects into the pit. Doesn't matter. Jab's gonna get caught out here by CTM, who stayed up on the high ground and used that positioning as a way to scout and ensure that they get the Roche for free. Give the Aegis towards Natsumi. He gets a shard as well. So they want to make sure that they get that additional sprout for the big trees. I think the way he's playing at 25, he might go for the HP treants. If you got the shard anyway. We'll see what the decision is from this NP now. Down bottom, death. They're trying to kill him. Kraken Shell keeps him alive for now. CTM doesn't have another impale just yet, but there is a snowball from Januel. Gonna buy time for these cooldowns. Enryu closes the gap. There's a sprout, split earth. And they just bring everybody one by one by one by one by one. No response from the rest of Fnatic as OB.Neon just dominating this map right now. Tier 2 tower, easy prize to be claimed in the aftermath of getting such an important kill. I really feel like this Aeon Disc is going to make such a huge difference for Natsumi. This actually might have been the missing ingredient from the previous game, where if he has Aeon Disc, maybe that game is still going. I don't know. Not a hero. Okay, I can accept that. I can accept that. I can live with the Slok one, given that there are some negative aspects to it as well. It's just one of these things where players figured out how to outsmart the opponent and know where wards are. But the Zeus one is, yeah, there's no... It's just stupid. This should not happen. Even if it reveals Invis, I don't think it should reveal the wards. Maybe there should be like some special kind of Invis that wards get. I don't know. Right now, the special kind of invis that these wards get is doing nothing. Because Neon is just taking care of them all across the map. Very little vision forward for the side of Fnatic. Look how little they see. The entire map is just dark for them. 10k gold lead for Neon. Yopaj can now start bowling into a refresher of his own. How far is the Tidehunter refresher? What the recipe? So he's adamant about buying the item. Just needs to finish off the Perseverance. But Zeus now has double Nimbus, double Thunder God's Wrath, at the same time as double Ravage comes out. So a raft of items from both teams. Nyx Assassin also just got an Aeon Disc. However, we saw that the Lion just picked up a Blink Dagger. Dude, come on! 3 Aeon Discs? Alright, so Nyx has Aeon Discs. They might be building one for Tusk. They have one on Lesh. They have one on Nature's Prophet. Your part at least gonna buy a BKB. For the love of God, Ice Frog, remove Aeon Disc from the game, dude. Smoke. Gonna get popped now. GK jumps forward with the stun. BKB active as well. Natsumi tanking some damage here. First Aeon Disc will pop. The Ravage gonna come out from death. He's still being kept alive but can't get off the second one because of the double Thunder God's Wrath. Nimbus Cloud brings down the Lion. But that's all they've achieved so far. Fnatic not too upset by the way that this fight is broken. Advantage gain for Neon, but they still have the second Ravage. Still have Refresher to pop if need be. Juan doesn't die. Terrorblade doesn't die. Terrorblade doesn't have to use BKB either. And they got to save the Ice Block coming in from AA. I feel like that's actually a really good fight for Fnatic. Because Neon can't get anything off of this. The idea was to be able to find a strong fight in the aftermath, push on the high ground because you still have access to this Aegis. But now Natsumi knows that the Aegis expires in 40 seconds. There's no way that you're going to feel able to take more than a tier 3 tower. If that. Let's see. I feel like y'all should back. I don't know about this one. Although they do have the Aeon Disc cooling down in about 10 seconds once again. Leshrax is up. Prophet's up in 8. Nyx's is up. Alright, maybe we do go. Brought onto one of the illusions of this TB. Slowly but surely. Sieging the tier 3 tower. Chuan just wants to disable the Aeon Disc. Now you back, dude. Holy. I was about to say, Neon, are y'all actually gonna chill? Come on.
Wait for it,
Still though, they got some really decent damage onto the tier 3 tower in the top lane. No one irreplaceable died in the entirety of the siege. Got a ton of gold onto our core heroes. Enryu getting closer towards Sanj and Kaya. Yopaj did finish the refreshers. Also gonna go for a young Octarine core next. Same time though, Raven is starting to become a problem. No cap. This is, I'm legitimately starting to worry for Neon. Might find CTM here. Bye bye, Nyx Assassin. Oh yeah, the Undusk, by the way. Stupid item. Wow. Alright, Tusk, are you just building Undusk, dude? Join the rest of the crew. Everybody's building Undusks. Timeless Relic picked up by the side of Neon. So we do have our initial round of these big tier 4 items. Minotaur Horn might go the way of this Nature's Prophet, but he's sticking with the Illusionist Cape rather. Timeless Relic for the Zeus. He's still gonna leave the Titan Sliver on Leshrac, the headband on General, and they're keeping this Essence Ring on the Nyx Assassin to make sure that he has some survivability. Nyx doesn't have access to the Aeon Disc at the moment. Aeon Disc for Enryu is still good, not activated just yet. The double Nimbus Cloud with Thunder God's Wrath will be on. They do get the kill onto DJ from this, but with Jabs and DJ gone, everybody else from Fnatic will flee.
Well, what did you expect?
Dude, Death, buy a pipe, my friend. Or maybe everybody just buys Aeon Discs as well. Because what's actually killing them? It's only actually the Zeus that's killing these heroes. This is a problem for Neon. Like, they dropped the double Thunder God's Wrath, the double Nimbus Cloud. But if you take a look at the damage numbers, it's pretty much one-way traffic. Ravage, round up by Death. He's gonna try to draw them deeper into the base. 4 seconds until the refresher is back online. Chuan will get taken out. Does that buyback? There's gonna be the second Ravage. Natsumi taking a lot of damage. Look at Raven go, baby. Raven gotten the 1 kill. There's gonna be an Ice Blast landing onto several heroes. Buyback was on from Chuan. Finger of Death as well. They found your Paj. They found your Paj. They've killed your Paj. CTM trying to escape, but there is vision, there's reveal. There's no way they're going to allow this to happen. Aeon Disc or no, this Nyx assassin will eventually get brought down. The damage. Fnatic, they defend the base yet again. This time around, they don't do it by just losing Death, but by also claiming kills on the other side. They lost Chuan for that too. He brought back. They lost Chuan and the Tide Hunter. I don't think Tide cares that much about dying after he gets off double Ravage. He's like, whatever, dude.
A tie to the impurities. Haste.
After this, Fnatic, are they now finally gonna get their first Aegis? You know what was really scary about that fight? Alright, so they lost Tide Hunter, right? They lost Chuan, he had to buy back. They lost both their supports before the fight started, and they both just came back in the fight. You know who took virtually no damage? Terrorblade. Didn't even use Thunder in that fight. He just raw right-clicked them. Now they have the Aegis, they give it to the DK. Cheese for jabs, and is this a... Okay, this is his own scepter that Terrorblade has. Is this his own scepter or is it a blessing? Let's see. Did somebody else get a refresher shard? Ah, they gave the blessing to the lion. Okay. So we now have AoE Finger of Death. Finger is starting to get a bit stronger, so you are definitely in some decent company in terms of winning the game to get this. Lol. Lol. I mean, okay, dude. Honestly, not worth it, dude. That's why Jabs is tipping him. Jabs is like, okay, dude. Sure, buddy. You proud of yourself, bro? Well, if they can try force a push now, then it becomes worth it. But just killing Jabs, it's actually not worth it to have to use Refresher to kill Jabs because he's back online before the Refresher is. But the Octarine Core definitely does make a difference. Makes it a bit more worthwhile for the Zeus. Nullifier now picked up for DK. 30 seconds without Lion, 50 without the Ancient Apparition. Chuan gets the job. Big Ravage coming in from Death. Catches absolutely everybody. Aeon Discs and BKBs are now proc though, so they're not going to be able to find any of the initial lives. Chuan, Split Earth will connect onto him. Can they save the DK? Not just yet. He tries to flicker away. He's still alive for now. They get the magic damage out. Almost kill the Lesh. Lesh will die. Enryu thought he could be saved by Januel, but Januel can do no such thing. And now he himself is in danger. He joined the Aeon Disc crew, but it will not matter as he still ends up losing his life. Buyback required from a Lion to make that happen. Lol. Okay, that was interesting. But they do get 2 kills. Leshrak being the bigger one amongst the two of them. Despite there being a pretty sizable net worth and experience lead in favor of Neon, struggling to break the space. How much gold did they actually get out of that kill? That's actually a bit unfortunate. Looks like Enryu died split, so nobody actually got a streak bonus off of him. OB.Neon. Yeah, man, OB.Neon does. They've got 4 of these. The only person who doesn't have it is Zeus, but everybody else rolling deep with the Aeon Discs. It's an interesting not a hero that you mentioned EG in the context of us talking about Aeon Discs. This reminds me of TI10, I believe. That game where EG were losing and their win condition was buying like 5 Dagons. Jabs? Oh god. Jabs? Natsumi? Lol? Just activates BKB, just quickly kills Jabs and gets out. That's hilarious. Alright, you see now double Refresher, double Nimbus, whatever. That's not worth it for that kill. However, a 6-second BKB charge when you're already down to 6 on a hero that's gonna die back. Yep, 100% worth it. Oh god, my mic broke in the middle of the fight. Buyback though. We'll be on from the Nyx assassin. Just being a quick kill on a Nyx jump. Oh, not to me. Very far forward here. BKB activated by him. He wants to try find the life of death. They will be able to get him killed. Buyback will be on from the Tidehunter. Terrorblade with BKB active going in with the damage. There's the Ravage from the Tidehunter. Double Ravage instead. Nature's Prophet is gone. Enryu's gonna follow him into the grave. Snowball gonna try and save him. General, he's been so good with this game. Will be good enough to ensure that they also get a kill on the Tidehunter. So it's a dieback on Tide. Yopaj in the meantime has been sitting on the back of the fight, throwing in quite a bit of damage. Natsumi brought back. They've been able to clean up heroes without buyback. No DK, no Lion. And Raven, I think they have the beat on the Tidehunter. I don't think he has buyback either. Tries to jump away, tries to get away. Will be able to port home. Still though, now they finally done it. I think Neon have broken the base at this point. After such a strong fight, there's no way that Fnatic are still going to be able to defend. They lose the lane of racks. Neon not interested in going for megas. They want the victory. They see these tier 4 towers. Will they be able to take them? Full minute without Tidehunter. Long time without the DK as well. They're not feeling comfortable enough to roll forward just yet. They're taking their time though. There they go. Find DJ. DJ will die. No buyback available for the Ancient Apparition either. At the same time, Raven jumped in on the backside of the fight. There comes a Terror Wave. Who can he kill here? Everyone has Aeon Disc. He can't fight this alone and he doesn't have buyback. He's gonna die. That's a no way to come back into this one. GG is called. Woo!
Well, what did you expect?
Fnatic go down. Neon, they break the 2-0 streak. Yesterday they broke the 2-1 streak. Today they break the 2-0 streak. Ultimately. Oh, okay. All right, Neon. Oh wait, snap. Okay, go. We're gonna keep this one very short because the Jägermeister has instructed me to check my Discord. In this game, honestly, I think that the thing that Neon did very, very well and successfully is they were able to play this game without having to necessarily worry about Fnatic's teamfight style, because they could split the map, play all parts of the map seemingly at once. They won a lot of their lanes, and crucially, Natsumi was the difference maker here. The change in mentality of how much earlier he's playing the map, how much earlier he's getting online, how much earlier he's moving to engage his team. And then he started the trend of everybody buying Aeon Discs. And Fnatic, part of the issue with their team fight, it relies a lot on go in, burst, Ravage, Ice Blast, Finger, Earth Spike. The long sustained damage only really comes from the TB, so it's very hard to play against all of these Aeon Discs. So ultimately they end up losing. So one game now in it. Going to game 3. Who is going to be going through? What is going to be decided? We'll find out together. Don't go anywhere, because that's going to be coming in a sec. Follow the channel if you aren't already. Make sure that you're also a supporter. Subscribe through Twitch or on Patreon, or you can make a one-time donation on PayPal. One more thing before we go is about this game for Fnatic. Part of the issue for them is all of their heroes were reliant on being able to enable the Terrorblade. They didn't have many sources of genuine damage outside of TB getting very, very strong. Unlike in game 1, where they had the Gyrocopter on the one hand, Templar Assassin on the other. There's a lot of dynamism with what they can do in the game. This one, very static, so Fnatic end up losing out. We'll see what they can do in game 3. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with some more amazing Dota 2 action.
Do you wonder?
Allow me to demonstrate the skill of Shaolin, the special technique of shadow boxing.
Sorry about the delay, ladies, gentlemen, and my NB comrades. Like I said, I had received an order. It literally arrived now, and the order in question was for, let's just say, some heavy duty stuff. So it required me to sit, assemble it, get it out there, etc. Feels bad. Okay, because I'm like kind of out of it in terms of where the game is right now, I'm gonna just borrow the camera. We'll pull through. But we're back. 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 We have returned. We are done. And now it is the time to see. Oh wait, we're not done just yet. One more thing. All right, there we go. Now we're done. Now we're ready. And we're going to be seeing whether or not Fnatic or Neon will be the team that goes over. That goes over in this situation. I kind of feel like one of the things that we've already seen today, at the very least, is the fact that Neon has some very good adaptation and very good understanding on how to pressure the map. Even that game that they lost, it was a loss, to be fair, right? But it didn't necessarily feel like the kind of loss where this was them being outplayed. It was sort of a lucky moment. Anything could have happened. Natsumi could not have died. Could have had Aeon Disc in that game. So right now, Fnatic versus Neon. This game is an interesting one, right? I didn't even really get to see the draft, so give me 2 seconds to think about this. We have one side DP Ember with the PL. On the other, of course, LCTB with the Lesh. Let me think. I'm definitely gonna say that I prefer the Fnatic draft. But I can also see how this Neon team makes a lot happen. At the same time, they've got... Yeah, I like Fnatic. I think they have the LCPL. LC to help out the Leshrac with covering against the PL. Both of them covering the PL will make sure that TB is not as pressured by that hero. They have these hexes to deal with the Ember Spirit and a very nice Aphotic Shield with Press the Attack. So they have the double dispels available to ensure that the TB is purged and stays alive every fight. Let's see where this goes as Smoke. Gonna be in here for the side of Fnatic. Jabs and Chuan moving together. See what they can find with this movement on the map. They come across this Ember Spirit who's busy fighting into this Abaddon now, but look, this is even better. They get the Blink Hex, they blink past Enryu. Will they be able to actually find this kill? Indeed they do. They find the Ember. There is not going to be a possibility of remnanting out. And now here comes Death, allowing them with a duel to set up onto Enryu as well. This DP is definitely going to end up dying herself here. Split Earth makes sure that she cannot move. And the Mist Coil puts her into the grave. Fnatic bounding onto the map right now. Looking hella strong while they're doing it. This time around, it's them that's pressing the early tempo. I mean, I suppose it makes sense, right? You have as your 1 and 2 Leshrac TB. These heroes want to be playing as fast as possible. Well, at least the Leshrac does. TB, it's just a bonus when he's given that opportunity. How often as a Terrorblade does your team set you up to be pushing a tier 2 tower in the bottom lane at 16 minutes into the game? You feel so good right now as a Terrorblade. Neon. At present, he's just a lot of farm being picked up by your Page right now. Your Page is the one that has to do the most for the team in terms of just controlling tempo. The question that I have about where this game goes now, even after you picked up this Maelstrom, you still have difficulty fighting as Neon. And the thing is, they don't have like a Blink Duel or a Blink RP, Blink Hex, any of these kind of big spells. They need Blink Dagger on the Nyx Assassin ASAP if they want to have a hope of initiating. Unfortunately, going for the Aghanim Scepter first, doesn't seem like these supports have been able to find much net worth on the side of Neon. Also see Jabs going back for the build he did in game 1. Blink Dagger 4-star, baby. I feel like this might also be a game where you should think about getting the Aghanim Shard. If he gets like Ghost Scepter Aghanim Shard after getting the 4-star, it can be annoying, can be very annoying for the PL at the very least. Even the Death Prophet not necessarily that happy to fight against Mana Drain. Hell, not even this Ember Spirit. If you get like Hex and Chain disabled and then you get Mana Drained, life is not the best for you. Dire Scan will not connect onto anybody here. They just go. Outpost will be reclaimed here by Jabs. Down bottom, they've taken the tier 2 tower, so they have the right to the opponent's outpost. And they will summarily take it. DJ smoked up with the gang. The only person not a part of the smoke right now is going to be the Chuan Leshrac. Nyx Assassin broke their smoke, but they cannot find a fight afterwards. Order 66. Oh my god. How is the Clone Wars show? Young Johnny. I haven't seen that show. I've only seen like a few episodes when they air on the TV, but I've never actually watched it. DJ gonna get surrounded now by some illusions from the PL. Oh, what a duel! Death with a bait after this Abaddon. They go and grab the life of the PL. Ancient Apparition did throw out the Ice Blast, but it's not going to be enough to lead into any kills just yet. Split Earth from Chuan connects directly onto Enryu. There will not be a DP running away from this fight. She threw out the Exorcism Ghost, but she is the one that ends up dying and becomes a ghost herself. Januel, they melt the ice, they break it, and with only Ember Spirit alive, Fnatic, feel free to roam directly into the Roshan pit. take the Aegis for myself. Woo! Great fight. Great fight for them. Tier 3. Not going to be taken anytime soon in the bottom lane, but it'll become a lot easier to think about going to take it now that you have this Aegis in the hands of this Leshrac. Incredibly dangerous hero already when she has access to the Lesh, or to the Aegis or the Immortal. I'm worried. I'm very worried about Neon. What is this PL gonna do? What is this PL gonna do? Like, think of the build, right? You're already at the stage where you need to start considering going for the shard into Octarine Core. But that's not necessarily gonna improve your odds of winning these fights. Because they have the Leshrac, because they have this LC. And normally you do get into these games where eventually the PL illusions are so big that it doesn't matter anyway, even against the Lesh. In this game though, it does matter because it's not just Lesh, it's also the Legion Commander, it's also eventually the shard on the Lion. And as a result, it's so hard to imagine actually getting those illusions forward on top of the Terrorblade to kill him. Speaking of TB, oh, they get a 2-hero catch here with the Earth Spike coming in from the Lion. Ice Blast allows them to bring down one immediately. Death is able to get a dual kill here, has the Aghanim shard as well. For a second, I thought he popped BKB, but then I saw it just shot. It's all good. Mr. Jireen, no worries. No worries. I'm just glad you're back. I'm glad you're out here. We're all going to be witnessing Fnatic, it seems, go over 2-1 in this situation. Because this game looks so damn good for them. It's kind of insane. TI10 tower top will get taken out. And, I love how your Pudge is just like, well, I can't do anything to really be involved right now, so we're just watching our buildings melt. Look at the Diabolic Edict plus Terrorblade damage. Tier 2 tower removed. I thought they were going to go for a high ground push a little bit later, but like I was mentioning, the safety offered by this Aegis lets them go up the hill. It also lets them go up the hill without as much care applied as they normally should, so they're unable to actually get anything from this high ground. They almost lost Chuan. Ice Blast flew back, if not for Death having the press the attack and DJ being nearby with the shield miscoil. Dangerous times would have abounded for Chuan, but with his allies in tow, everything's fine. Game 2 was weird. It was a very strange game. Oh, dual middle. Oh, what a big finger of death. Do they have enough damage to kill? Of course they do. Raven is there with the meta. And they're gonna just clear out the next tier 2 tower. And look at this issue. One press the attack keeps Death alive from dying. One overwhelming odds. Make sure that all the illusions from the PL don't do anything. Not a great place to be. Now they jump on the high ground, force a buyback, but the damage from Death, they managed to bring down CTM on his Nyx Assassin. Raven throws in the final right clicks on the Terrorblade. Buyback will be there from the DP. And there is buyback as well on the Nyx Assassin. Chuan on the high ground finds a split out on the 2. That gets followed up by the Earth Spike. It only catches 1 though. Chuan very low, but it doesn't matter because Raven with the reflection and Death with the overwhelming odds, they're able to bring down the PL. No buyback for Natsumi. And they force a buyback out of Nyx. Fnatic right now are just dominant. 13k gold up. Ton of experience in their favor as well. Cresting on the 10k mark at this point. They just feel so good. We'll see now. What will they be able to do on the side of Neon to come back? Your Paj has to do quite a bit of tempo control for himself because this PL is really struggling to have any kind of impact and the DP is too squishy. She only has Yules with the Hood of Defiance, doesn't have BKB, no Shivas, none of that kind of stuff. Shenwal also about to just be fingered down by jabs. That's the 5th stack, plus 200 damage on Finger of Death. Good times.
ไหวบอนี่
Feels quite difficult to imagine a comeback here for the side of Neon. In particular because this PL is just so far behind. 5k gold behind the Terrorblade. You still don't have your shard. You're nowhere near Octarine core. I feel like if you have Octarine shard, then we're talking, but without it, oof. Oof.
อ้าวเสียวจังไดนี่ไหวบอนี่
Yopaj back in the game. We can continue with proceedings. Although Neon are definitely at risk right here of finding themselves knocked down to the lower bracket. How much dual damage does Death have? Only 60, it's not so bad. They don't have access to the Aegis, so they might decide to hold off pushing on to the high ground. We've seen them be extremely cautious across the course of the series from the side of Fnatic, so it would not be a surprise for them to continue that caution here today. Jabs. Just destroys the orbs there, making sure that his team has absolute vision of the area. Once Chuan gets BKB, good god, then what? Then what? Right now, Chuan is actually mortal. Oh, they found CTM. Walked past the sentry, and more dual damage for Death. Easy. Easy, easy, easy. Plus 80, good times. I love that Enryu is the one that's starting the train. Like, let's go, gang. Aeon Discs is where it's at. Your power should get one after picking up the Aghanim Scepter as well. Let's just get those Aeon Discs going. It's the only way back into the game. Now without CTM, remember CTM bought back for the last defense, so they know for a fact that they're playing 4v5 in this situation. Still some things to fear. Still Ice Blast. There's still the Sleight of Fist. There's still Crypt Swarms. Fortunately, there's no shard just yet. Oh no, there is. Okay, PL shard now. Alright, so they now have to deal with the Spirit Lance shard. Doesn't seem like it'll be enough to keep the base alive though. Chuan, Diabolic Edict back up in a couple seconds. Raven's gonna eat an Ice Blast. That's a pretty big catch there. But Aphotic Shield will keep him up. And now they know that there's no more Ice Blast to throw. So Chuan with Diabolic Edict just wants to finish off the melee racks. And they will get it. They got it. They got it. Despite CTM respawning, they don't have the tools to chase them down on the side of Fnatic and prevent this retreat, but they're gonna try. Raven pops BKB, turning onto CTM, and they eviscerate the next assassin. Now Yopaj in the midst of several heroes, although the exorcism goes helping him out, but Death able to stay alive. Death is still on. Death eventually does take over, but look at the damage being done. Chuan loses his life. Natsumi looking strong in the middle of this fight. Yopaj now able to clean up jabs as well on the other side. OB.Neon, alright. Show some signs of life there. It looked a bit dicey, but Raven had to flee the fight because he realized his HP was running low. And he was the only one dishing out damage. They killed this Lesh so early on. And they forced Death into a really uncomfortable position. So they get the racks from Fnatic. But they do have to deal with several heroes not being available. Unfortunately for the side of OB.Neon, they will not be blessed with a fast Roshan timer. Still gonna be a full minute before the big man comes online, which will certainly give some time towards Fnatic to come and control that area. Fnatic. 12k gold lead after being punched in the nose in that situation. Nah, I mean, that would actually be a good idea to make the CD like 30 seconds longer. But honestly, I feel like it's just remove it. Just remove it, dude. Buff some other item, like, I don't know, buff Yule Scepter if you want to, but Aeon just seems a bit too strong. Just a little bit too strong. Just a little bit too strong. Like you mentioned, the one way to counter it is you need to spend so much gold to deal with it. And even then, it's not a ironclad guarantee that you'll always get out the nullifier onto the Aeon disc target. What if the person that's carrying nullifier, they get disabled in the fight? It's just too good for too little cost, so I'm definitely in favor of removing it entirely. Small lag spike in the game here. Chuan spiking a little bit here, but thus far not yet committed into any dangerous situation, so he still can be saved. One thing that I do think Neon can potentially think about doing to try come back into this one, given the state of affairs and given what the entire map looks like for them, they can't really do the old rat trick anymore that they were doing decently well with game 1 and 2. However, if they maybe, the issue I was about to say, maybe if they found like a pair of BTs on the Ember and then try have this Nyx AA be a ganking duo joined by the Ember every now and then. But Fnatic aren't really playing apart from each other either. So the opportunities that you would need, finding heroes alone, finding heroes isolated, finding heroes farming spots of the map where they're not actually that safe, they wouldn't actually be able to accomplish these things, given that everyone on Fnatic will always be available and ready to respond as soon as they see Neon heroes on their side of the map. Fnatic still playing this slow. Roche is going to be up now. Jabs is going to go scout it out, or someone else will scout it out. Oh, I guess no one's scouting it out. Alright, Chuan scouts it out, but then Spider Legs is past the pit. Ice Blast did come in, but it doesn't actually connect onto anybody, so they can't check their positioning. Kind of scary right now. The thing is as well is in this holding pattern where nothing's really happening, Fnatic have more of the map to be able to farm. OB.Neon, they've been corralled into their side of the base right now, so it's hard to move out. This PL is not really accelerating anymore. The gap between himself and the Terrorblade has just increased. It was 5k at a point, now it's... oh, it's still 5k, okay. Thought it was going to be closer to 7 by this point. So they have Aegis for Chuan, Cheese for the Terrorblade, and it looks like the shard went to the Leshrac. So now we have that really stupid split earth. That's going to be fun for Ember Spirit. Normally Ember would try to weave in and out of the fight, using the timings on the remnants, make sure that he's not ever really getting caught out, but won't be able to do anything if he gets caught with the secondary split earth. Does have BKB and still at an 8-second timer, so that's a pretty decent amount of survivability and protection afforded to the Ember in this situation. However, the same is not necessarily true for the rest of his compatriots. The split earth will certainly catch this PL. DP cannot save herself from the first instance anymore using Yules, but she also just picked up a 9-second BKB, so she's a lot safer. Ironically enough, the most unsafe core hero on the side of Neon is going to be their PL. Heart will make a difference, will definitely help. But there's a lot of damage on the side of Fnatic right now. And unlike in the previous game, where the bulk of their damage was in big bursts, here they have big burst damage to be sure, but they certainly have that sustained incremental damage throughout the fight. I think I'd be more okay with Aeon Disc if it, you know, items like say Lincoln Sphere, right? Where you still have to be a good player to buy Lincoln Sphere, so that when the first thing triggers, you are aware, snap, Lincoln's has triggered, we need to do something. You can't just buy it and forget about it. I think that's the thing that annoys me so much about Aeon Disc. It's too good, you just forget about it. Don't have to worry. The only drawback with Aeon Disc is actually buying it, but you never regret having Aeon Disc. Well, let me not say that, but you know what I mean. Just get rid of it, honestly. Not that Neon would be helped all that much by having Aeon Discs. Some heroes would be, like Nyx probably needs an Aeon Disc, so does the Ancient Apparition. But PL needs more damage and survivability. Heart will help. It helps them a lot too that they have the AA and they're not fighting into it. If they had to deal with Ancient Apparition on the side of Fnatic, this would just be... Whew, yeah. We see also Fnatic have gone back for... They made sure that when they pick this Leshrac, it's coming with an Abaddon behind it to heal it. A different style than what we saw Neon playing the Leshrac with, but still quite effective. Chuan now in the high ground has set a Photic Shield behind him. Lion did pick up the Shroud, and Chuan's falling fairly low really quickly. And these annoying split earths are going to be here, but Neon have enough D-push. Your Page with the Sleight of Fist, the Spear from the PL bouncing around targets. Seems to have done a good enough job that Fnatic won't be able to advance easily, but Chuan just waits for Diabolic to come back. Gets a free, press the attack, put some Diabolic Edict damage out. What can you do? There's a limit to how much you can do, because remember, Fnatic can keep doing this forever. There's no time limit. It's like, whatever, dude. I've still got this Aegis for like 3 minutes. Who cares? Tier 3 is gone now. Will they be able to get more? Tier 4 still safe, but the racks will definitely get taken away. Jabs, what an Earth Spike! Catches the DP and Januel. DP gone, no buyback. Jump in from death will also enable him to kill Januel as well. Jabs with the initiation leads to 2 kills. The rest of Fnatic also clean up the laner racks. Raven on hand with the damage. They'll leave the range racks, but this is the primary purpose of their movement down bottom, and they succeed in their objective. 1 full lane cleaned up in the mid lane, melee racks taken down bottom, and Fnatic on the cusp now of knocking Neon to the lower bracket. TB versus Drow late game. I prefer TB. I think mid game Drow demolishes TB, but late game gets a bit iffy and strange. Basically, there's like 5 heroes who I never count out late game, literally no matter what, so, provided they have good enough farm. Terrorblade, Spectre, Faceless Void, Slark, who was the last one? Not PL, man. PL sometime, but not every single game. There's one other hero that I'm just not... It's not awkward, and those are like... But you get what I mean. Those kind of heroes are heroes where I'm like... Once you get late game... Medusa. Yes, Medusa. That's not... When these heroes get late game, the game is strange. And when games are strange... anything can happen. Doesn't really matter as much what was happening in the earlier portion of the game. Drow range in the mid game destroys TB, but as time goes on and on and on, it becomes an interesting thing. The one thing about Drow though is that it does negate one of the biggest advantages for the TB, this late game armor. Top lane. Oh no! Here comes the jump. They find CTM. Can they get this dual kill early? Not just yet. At the same time, Yopaj jumps onto the other side of the fight. CTM did get a pretty good impale onto DJ and Jabs, so there's no support follow-up for the fight just yet. Enryu, what are you doing, my friend? DP roamed so far out of the base. Incredibly ambitious move there, and will get brought down. I understand Death Prophet had the Exorcism Ghost going, but man oh man, what a risk. DP, no buyback available. Natsumi will not get split earth somehow, as the Aegis expires from Chuan. Raven will get an allied, press the attack. They take out the tier 3 tower. A big wave of melee creeps is also coming in down into the bottom lane. So if they can take this full lane of racks, this may just well be the megas. Full lane taken. These racks are being cleaned up. Your Paj realizes that this is where the threat is, but there's 2 siege dragons with this. Are you kidding me? There we go. Megas are attained. Fnatic. They have this game on lock. 15 seconds until the DP comes back online. They'll leave jabs behind in the base. But with a Baron running low on HP, no Aegis,
อ้าวเสียวจังได
BKB down, it's fine to back off from this. Also, Jireen, I think that when it comes to the Drow versus TB matchup, it's one of those matchups where if Drow is sufficiently ahead, you have to be like 3-4k gold up mid-game to feel like you're ahead enough to justify the pick. We see now your Paj getting a dueled. Bye-bye. Why are they here from OB.Neon? I mean, they still have buyback on the Ember Spirit, but this is the second time in a row now where I feel like the chase out of the base is 100% unnecessary. Enryu started the trend, trying to defend the top lane, ended up dying. Ember Spirit decides to hop on the same wave. And guess what? Dies as well. Fnatic are just too strong to fight them outside of the base. At the same time, I understand that from Neon's perspective, the game ends if you just sit in your base and wait for Fnatic to come do something to you. But that movement just felt a bit cavalier and not respectful enough of the position that they're in at the moment. Fnatic. Not even gonna wait for the final rush. They're like, dude, we're so far ahead. Let's go. Tier 4 tower's gone. Can they win this game? They're on the cusp of doing it. Buyback from the Ember Spirit. Your Paj been drawn back into the fray. This might give Fnatic the idea of just pushing this as slowly as possible. DTM. Throw out the spike carapace, but Chuan's still gonna close the gap. There's gonna be the duel. They get the kills. DTM does have buyback. In the meantime, Jabs gets taken out of the fight by Yopaj. We'll have to buy back as well. Exorcism goes flying everywhere. DJ, borrow time gets triggered out, but Enryu doesn't have borrow time. And Raven will just put him in the grave with all these right clicks. No buyback for the DP. Look at that. Two-shotting the Ancient Apparition. He's forced to buy back instantly. This dataless damage from Raven. 4v5 now. Ancients only building that standing. But Fnatic do not want to press the advantage. They do not want to press the attack. Haha. And they know that they got 2 buybacks out of the side of Neon. At this point, the only hero that has buyback is Natsumi's PL. He is the game now. For Neon, this is the game. Is he trying to buy Divine Rapier, dude? Okay, he's buying MKB. Alright. Oh, Miss Bandits. Miss Bandits, take it easy. I really enjoyed your lurk. You're really good at it. And I hope to have you lurking tomorrow. And make sure you hydrate. Can't lurk while thirsty. Earthspike on the 2, followed up by a duel from death to bring down the Ember Spirit. No buyback from Yopaj. CTM. Can he escape away here? He's in the middle of this. All these heroes. And they're just toying with him. They can kill him at any time, but they're just having a good time right now. They do decide to just run away a little bit. Suppose they want to go take the Roche. Dude, Fnatic is playing with their food right now. They are not interested in taking an easy victory. Maybe part of this is to psychologically affect Neon so they play worse in their lower bracket games, so that maybe a team that's actually worse than them beats them, so that when you play that worst team, it's easier to play against them. 12,000 IQ plays coming in here from the side of Fnatic. Working out magnificently. CTM. Feels like he's the solitary hope. Dude, if CTM can ever get to this Aeon disc, it would be so huge. But never gonna happen. Reflection with the Metamorphosis. And here they come. It's 4v5 still. And Ryu. Woo! DP's gone, baby. So is CTM. Nothing they can do. Natsumi trying to fight against everybody, but he knows what's up. He knows it's over. There's nothing he can do. Game is over. Series is over. And with a GG called, Fnatic is the first team. The first team.